another cup up, feeling on your butt, what? You don't even care, man. I was unaware how fine you was before.
Well. Good morning, everyone. This is Trendy Lindy. We're live on the C. Allen Morning Show, and we are excited to be in the studio on this morning.
Well, Trendy, how excited are you?
Good morning, C. Allen.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, listeners, that Trendy Lindy is cheating on me because Alonzo tell me she has two men in the studio with her this morning.
Two gorgeous men.
A major problem, Trendy.
I got two gorgeous men in the studio, too.
Well, let me just say this. Good morning, listeners. This is the C. Allen Morning Show. Trendy Lindy is holding down the fort today. I am recovering from the awesome Golden Scissors Awards experience on yesterday.
Yes.
I just wanted to say really quickly, because I'm going to hang up on Trendy, I want to just say really quickly that I appreciate all of the listeners, all of the students, the faculty, the staff, the family members of the Bennett Career Institute for coming out on last night. It meant so much to me. We had close to 200 listeners, students, friends, family, to be at the Washington Convention Center on yesterday as I received the Living Legend Award for my 23 years in the beauty industry.
Wow.
Cindy, I tell you, it meant the world to me. The students did an outstanding job, but I have to say this, that Acia Williams from the C. Allen Signature Salon and the Bennett Career Institute Barber Program, when I tell you, not only did she win that barber total look, but it was something I have never seen before. But guess what, listeners? You don't have to worry about it, because that's going to be the cover of the annual reunion show flyer, baby.
Wow.
That's nice.
Yes.
Like what Acia Williams did on yesterday. So when I tell you I had an outstanding job, but I got a funny story real quick. I tell you, listeners, we had a student who was on the stage. She started tumbling.
Oh, no.
She started moving.
No.
She started rolling. She started, and some of the honorees said, was that a part of the program? I said, yes, it was. And I tell you, I said, I hope she's not listening, because, baby, I'm going to imitate that on Thursday in the student body meeting, baby. So, Trendy Lindy, please make sure you're there.
Oh, my God. I heard about it.
She sent me an email apologizing, and I said it was nothing to apologize. That's what the show was about, baby. If you're going to wear 6-inch pumps on the main stage that's slippery, then some things have to happen. But I was not embarrassed. I had an absolutely awesome time. Let me just say this, and I'm going to hang up. And I know Trendy has an awesome show in store for you today, but I just wanted to really, really thank everyone who supported me on last evening. It meant the world to me. Oftentimes, people don't give you any accolades. Oftentimes, we hate on each other. Oftentimes, we have issues with each other. But to have someone to take time out to respect you and honor you for what you do is something that is amazing.
Yes.
So I thank all of the listeners, the friends, the family, everyone who attended. What I'm going to do, because I'm in a giving spirit, Trendy's going to tell you a little bit more about it's all over Facebook, everybody. On next week, on December the 15th, I am doing a show on my favorite things. I will be giving out. It's going to be thousands of dollars worth of gift certificates, gifts. We have Johnny Wright, Michelle Obama's hairstylist, going to be calling in next week because I'm giving away Soft Sheen and Carson Hydrosteam products. I'm giving away tons of C. Allen gift cards. I'm giving away the vegan products. I'm giving away so much stuff to our listeners, all my favorite things. I have a chocolate a volcano cake. I'm going to be making that and actually delivering that to a client's home. So I'm going to be doing all of that next week. So tell all your family and friends, if they want to win some great things, listen on next week, December the 15th, which is 10 days before Christmas, is going to be C. Allen's favorite things for Christmas that I'm going to be giving away. Now, what I want the first 5 callers to do right now, write this down, first 5 callers, write down the number 202-526-1400, extension 19. Again, 202-526-1400. 1400 extension 19. I think we want to bless the men today. AC touched me with the barbers, and I want you to announce this all through the show, Lindy. We're giving a $25 gift card for a men's grooming experience. If you want that facial, if you want a grooming experience, I want you to we have something called the Obama package at the Sea Island Signature Salon. That is a facial, shampoo, and haircut. That is normally $40. I'm going to do the $25 gift card, and it's going to cover you of getting for the men a haircut, a facial, and a shampoo. Now, I know some of you guys said, I haven't had no facial, and I never had a facial. Some of you said, I don't get my hair shampoo. But you know what? What is our slogan at the end of the show, Trendy?
Pamper yourself. It's your duty. Why? Because you are worth it.
Absolutely. So as I go, the first 5 callers, I'm going to give you the Obama package. I need the men to rise up, stand, take thy bed and walk.
Yes.
Walk right on to the 705 Florida Avenue location. But listen, you need to call me now. The first 5 callers, I'm going to give you that Obama package, which is the facial, the haircut, and the shampoo. You're not going to have to pay it. It's going to be free on Sea Island. The first 5 callers, 202-526-1400, extension 19. Trendy, I want you to be announcing that throughout the 2 hours of the show. I'm in the bed. I'm going to lay back and listen to the show. It better be good. I don't want to have to call back.
Well, you know what? One of my studio guests, he gave me the chop sign to cut you off, sir. But you know, you heard the noise?
That is Daryl Rowe.
No, it's not Daryl Rowe. But you'll hear in a second, sir.
Church?
No, it's not. It's not up church. You go ahead.
Okay, well, let me go so you can enjoy the show. I don't want to take the listeners' time. 202-526.
We love you, Sea Island.
19.
Congratulations, sir.
Congratulations. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Boy, you gonna get me in trouble, my studio guest, Alonzo.
I should have said Zoe hit it.
He wanted to say Zoe hit it. Now that is wrong. Well, anyway, good morning, everyone. My boss, he busted in this morning before I could tell you who we are, what we're doing, and all of that. But we want to say again, congratulations, C. Allen Bennett, for the Living Legend Award, sir.
Yes.
You deserve it. We don't know anyone who's more generous, more giving, more of a visionary than you, sir, and we appreciate you and all that you do. We love you, C. Allen.
That was a long overdue.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
So, congratulations, C. Allen. And we also want to congratulate AC. I heard you did a phenomenal job, and we just look forward to what's coming from AC. That girl right there, that's a bad one. That's a bad girl.
Yeah, she's nice.
But we're glad she's a part of us. She's a part of us, the BCI crew.
That's the type of thing you say, I'm glad she's on our team.
Exactly, exactly. Okay, so let me back up real quick. This is the Sea Island Morning Show. This is where we talk about beauty, fashion, entertainment, and everything that's going on in the city. And right now we have Willow in the city who want to bring her beauty tip clip. Willow, you on the line?
Good morning.
Good morning, sweetie. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. I'm a little hoarse this morning from all the cheering and screaming and acting out last night. And I, too, wish I was in the bed. And C. Allen better be lucky I wasn't in there. He would have been cut.
You would have had that opportunity to cut him. No, we ain't going to cut.
I'd have made the hang-up sound and everything, C. Allen.
No, we're not going to do that to our Sea Island. Okay, so give us the beauty tip clip first, and then we want you to comment on what you experienced last night at the Golden Scissors. So go ahead with your beauty tip clip.
Okay, well, as promised, I told you guys I was going to keep y'all in the know for the beauty, all kinds of beauty tips, especially for this holiday season. So today I'm going to talk to you about how to have flawless eyebrows every time.
Every time.
Yes, that's right up your alley, right?
That's my alley, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I learned a trick because I had to use it. I myself was a little in between waxing and ran out of time, was going to an affair, needed my face done. But however, this is also, so like I said, it helps you if you have, when you're in between waxing, but this is just to really define the brows.
Okay.
The trick is After you foundation your face and everything, as normal, you use the concealer at the top and the bottom of the brow to really define that shaping.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then you fill it in with your eyebrow pencil and blend. Blending with either a sponge or a kabuki brush.
Okay.
Flawless brows. I'm telling you, try it. You're not going to believe it. Actually, I got it from my daughter. She worked it on me and herself. But there you go. That's your tip. So Christmas, I know you all are going to be doing a lot of partying, a lot of celebrating and everything. And like I said, I'm going to keep y'all in the know as much as I can about the beauty tips to keep it hot.
Oh,
now,
wonderful.
about that show last night.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. I really enjoyed it. It was I haven't been in a couple years actually, and Chet Bennett was looking good. AC really did rock it. That hair was off the chain. That color, the cut, the whole look was off the chain. Like I said, you see, I'm a little hoarse because I was in there screaming. I was in there. I tried to hold on to the last minute, and I'm tired this morning, y'all. So I tell you what, I'm about to sign out. Y'all have a lovely week, and I too, I'm going back to bed. Love you, and God bless.
All right. Well, tell us how we can. Will we hear you tomorrow? Will you be?
Yes. That's
okay. Tell us how we
in
can.
the city. Willow Vision Radio at www.wlvsradio.com. That's every Tuesday morning at 11 a.m., where we too talk about health, beauty, and business for balance.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for calling in, Willow. We look forward to hearing from you on next week.
All right, Lindy. Y'all have a good one.
Okay, you do the same. All right, so everyone, we are excited to be in the studio on this morning. We are talking about the highlights. We're talking about you writing that tip down. Talking about the highlights from the Golden Scissors Awards that took place at the Convention Center on last night. But before we continue on with that, I want to introduce my studio guest with you. On my right next to me, I have the awesome Mr. Durrell Rowe in the studio.
Good morning. Good morning.
He is actually one of our production team members. He's one of the ones who helped get our topics together, the information. He helps us research and helps us to come up with a dynamic show. And then to my extended left, I have the awesome Showtime in the building. Showtime. Yeah, now see y'all and know.
Good morning, everyone.
Yeah, we're so excited to have you actually in the studio. Now, Showtime is he's an instructor at the award-winning Bennett Career Institute.
Proudly to say.
Yes, and he's also the proud owner of Showtime Barber Salon on U Street.
Yes, 923 U Street. Down several blocks from 705.
Yes.
Signature Salon.
Yes. All right, from the Signature. Okay, so you're special to the C. Allen Morning Show family, not just because you're a BCI graduate, a BCI instructor, and now owner of Showtime, but you actually received that salon from the Chat Bennett himself. Yes.
And speaking of giving, there's so many things that he does.
Okay.
That's not even recorded.
Okay. Let's talk about a little bit of it. What's some of the things that C. Allen does?
On and on. I mean, since I came a part of the family back in 02, 03, he have always been the same way.
Yeah.
That award was outstanding. It was great. Me personally, I think it was, far way over, should have been at that.
Yeah.
It's great. The salon that I own currently now, Showtime, was once, C. Allen was once one of his salons.
Yeah, his barber salon.
Yes.
And we made plenty of money, too. So C. Allen did something by letting that one go. We made plenty of money with that one.
Every now and then he look back and say, "You know what?
Did I make a mistake?
I might have made a mistake even." But it's all blessed. But that's how you continue to get blessings, and that's one thing I've learned from the Bennett Career family. When you're coming up, growing up, your moms or pops, you're about to giving, you give, you share, you give. But it's a different level of giving once you get up. You start exercising your love and understanding, and start to share talent, and that's something that. Mine.
Okay.
and don't want to share. This like the young ladies left a tip on how you can keep your eyebrows up, and I wrote that tip down.
You wrote that?
I'm a very good eyebrow archer myself.
You are? Okay, well, hold that thought for us, Showtime. We have to go to break. This is our first break, but when we come back, we're going to talk about the blame game on this morning. Who are you blaming for your...
Who you blaming it on?
Yeah, who you blaming it on?
Who you blaming it on?
Exactly. We'll be right back in a few moments.
1450 WOL.
Good morning. This WL Traffic Update is brought to you by the Foundation for a Better Life. On the northbound Baltimore-Washington Parkway, still looking at delays heading up to Laurel. You need to know about that if you're heading up to BWI Marshall Airport or points north. It was a bus fire. It looks like the right side of the road is still partially blocked, so it's still slowing you down up from NASA Goddard northbound. On the BW Parkway, southbound is opened. On South Capitol Street northbound, it was the accident. Only the left lane is open at O Street near Nats Park. So that is heading inbound on South Capitol Street. Winston Churchill's words stirred his country in the face of defeat. Today they inspire us to reach for our own victories. Commitment, pass it on from the Foundation for a Better Life at Values.com. Now your WOL weather forecast for today. Cloudy, high near 39. Clouds overnight, couple of rain drops down to 37. Rain early tomorrow and then cloudy with showers in the afternoon. And a high tomorrow near 43. Steve Hirschhorn for News Talk 1450 WOL, where information is power.
News Talk 1450 WOL AM, where information is power.
We are back live on the Sea Island Morning Show. I tell you, I am in the studio with Mr. Rowe and Showtime, and oh my goodness, during the break, we are he's making me laugh so much, I'm getting dizzy in the studio. You got to calm down, Showtime.
Who we gonna blame it on?
Okay, so let's get with it. Let's talk about it a little bit. There are times now, I'm excited about this because next week, Sea Island is going to come in and he's going to talk about how to position yourself for greatness. So today, we want to spend a little bit of time and talk about why we aren't where we should be. Why aren't we where we want to be? What's going on in our lives? And who are we blaming for our mistakes or our shortcomings? Is it your mom's fault that you didn't you were unable to go to football practice, or you weren't able to take that extracurricular activity, and you weren't able to get into the club, and now you find yourself making a little bit of money. You weren't able to go to college. Whose fault was that? Was it your fault? Was it something that you could have done, or was it your parents' fault? We blame our parents for a lot of things that they didn't do, but was it their fault? And even if it was their fault, when are we going to stand up and say, okay, that was then, this is now? What can I do to make the situation better? So there are a lot of people who have their fingers pointing at the next person because they're unhappy or they're unfulfilled. But when are we going to start taking responsibility for ourselves, our own life?
Correct.
So let's go into it. We're going to talk about a few different issues today. We're going to start with football.
Okay.
We're going to start with football. Now we have a guest that will be calling in a few.
All right.
But we're going to start with that. And because I'm really not a football fan, we still want to talk about it. When the team does not win, everyone. When the team does not win. I ain't talking about the Redskins. I heard, what are they? 3 wins, 10 losses? I'm not talking about them, though.
Something like that.
Okay, so whose fault is it? Is it the coach's fault that they're not winning? Or is it the players' fault? Whose fault is it? Now Lonzo said it's that name.
Yeah.
He said
It's that name that they're not winning. I don't know. Now, radio audience, call in 1-800-450-7876 if you have an opinion about whose fault it is that the team doesn't win. Let us know. We want to hear about it. But what you say, Ro?
I believe it was a group effort.
A group effort.
Yeah, I think they just. I'm not a Redskin fan, so I'm gonna say.
Well,
we good.
Okay, so you gonna get it.
You're getting a lot of listeners upset about that.
Exactly. You in DC. Now tell us, who is your team? Who's your team?
I would call them the real DC, the Cowboys.
The real DC. First of all,
like
bro,
that.
let me ask you this question. Have you ever been to Texas, sir? Why is that your team and you ain't never even been to Texas?
Since the world listening, I was destined to be a star. So from the beginning, that's what I am.
Oh my goodness! So Showtime, what you say?
It's a group. It's a group effort. It's multiple things you can look at: coaching, players. Also, I say the 50-50. You can exercise what you want your players to do. I'm gonna use my students for example.
Okay.
You know, we talk about this all the time. If you see a student come through school, she had to be accredited 1,500 hours once upon graduation. You know, how is he? How's his skill level? Opposed to when he first came in. But in the course of that, I love what I do. I have a passion for what I do. I give my 150% in teaching, but it's also the other half of 50% that the student have to do their part. They have to do their homework. They have to study. They have to practice, and together you can make form, you know, success. What Mr. Bennett was talking about in the previous show, where you say he's going to speak on, which is really great, setting the foundation, positioning yourself. That's very important because what he basically is talking about when he says position yourself is he basically saying set a foundation. Once you get a foundation, you can build a home, you can tear it back down, you can rebuild it because you have that foundation, you know, a set frame. So it's varies of different ones. You say who's at fault. You can't really particular just point that individual out. You know, we're speaking about football, it's a team effort, group effort. But it's varieties. It's just, you know, it's multiple things you can point at.
Okay.
And then to say who's at fault.
Okay. All right. So we have a
But who you gonna blame?
Well, who is the blame? Who's
Nobody
normally blamed? Is it the quarterback who's normally blamed when the team doesn't win?
Well, a real leader would say it's my fault.
Okay.
A real leader
will accept the responsibility.
Yeah, it's like when a teacher say, okay, look, they really not getting a lot. A true teacher, a true leader would say, you know what, I'm not giving my students 150%.
Okay.
You know, so first start with self. And once you separate and you look at everybody looking at self, then you once could come together as a whole, as a team.
Okay.
You know, because there's no I's in team. And, you know, last night the Golden Scissors, and just like the gentleman spoke about Vernon Martin, which I also know I had a chance to work with Vernon Martin for a short period of time, and he was always the same way, a mimic of Mr. Bennett. He's always giving, always sharing. There's no I in him. It's always team.
Okay. You know. So that's awesome. Now we neglected to talk about. I didn't allow you to talk about the highlights of the Golden Scissors.
Last
night.
It was phenomenal.
Go ahead.
You want to speak on the road because you was
I
both
behind the scenes.
Well, both of y'all.
He was behind the scenes. He saw a lot of the show. He was behind the scenes.
He was behind the scenes.
Well, I seen behind the scenes.
He saw behind.
Yeah, he saw behind.
He saw behind.
He saw behind. Behind the scenes.
So that's why you're a little shy because you saw behinds. But we want to see. But you were behind the scene. We had Showtime in front, seating, seeing everything. So give us your perspective first, Ro, and then Showtime will come in with what he saw in the beginning. What happened at the Golden Scissors?
Well, myself, I had competed before in Golden Scissors back in 03, 04. I had a chance to see both sides, what goes on in the back. A lot of people don't get to see the hustle and bustle and the work and what all they put in these shows. I mean, people been there. We get there at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, enjoy the festivities. We see when the food comes out on the platter. We don't see the chefs, the cooks, the mechanics, the engineers in the back who's really preparing for this show, who has been preparing for this show for months ahead of time, that who's been at the convention center since like 1 o'clock, 12 o'clock. And like we discussed this morning, you prepare for these shows for months in and months out, and you may have mechanical failure to come up just before you hit the platform. So, but on the outside, me looking in, the audience, it was great, phenomenal. It was very exciting, very entertaining. Glenn Jackson, once again, did an outstanding job keeping the crowd entertained. When the lady came out, she started putting money all over the stage, and how he just, you know, went on with the act and have other people come and clean up and interact with something else to keep the crowd entertained. It was a really great show. You know, my favorite part was like when the young lady came down when she stumbled like 3 or 4 times.
That's
I was
your
like, whoa! She was walking across, and whoa! She stumbled again. Then she stumbled again. Whoa!
Man.
But the great part about it, she recovered.
Yeah, she recovered.
She recovered, and she completed her walk.
She gave it her all.
And I say, hey, that's great. I mean, that's what it's about. Like Miss Bennett said, that's what it's about.
Yeah,
You know.
That was a Beyonce move right there.
them
Beyonce
sick-
got that
them
hair
s-
caught in that fan. That
six
girl
inches.
got cut loose, and then she started swinging it.
That's it.
Yeah, that's a Beyonce move right
We all learned from Michael Jackson with that Pepsi commercial.
When that thing caught that jerry curl,
Yeah.
that fire hit that
It
thing.
lit him up. But it was a
Okay.
great show. Outside, in the audience looking phenomenal. It was great. Timing, everything was well. It was just a wonderful show. Since we haven't been there in 5 years, the Bennett Career Institute, as far as being on stage, it was great. And I'm glad that we was able to let the students just actually get live action and see
Yeah.
all the preparation, a lot of things we do in the school, what it amounts up to. And
Exactly.
a lot of the future students will hope they, see themselves on the stage performing as such as A.C.L. Williams. And when she started from school, as Mr. Bennett was saying, how to set that foundation, how to position yourself. She positioned herself years before.
Exactly.
But
And she's
continuously-
still positioning
she's
herself.
still positioning herself.
Exactly.
She's getting on that level what you call an artist.
Yes.
She's a great stylist, wonderful weave expert, a great colorist, and now she's in a barber field. That's a quadruple threat.
And she's an awesome instructor.
Awesome instructor.
Yeah, so the girl, like I said, she's a bad girl. That's
Awesome.
a bad girl.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I like it.
So, bro, give us your take.
Bro,
What
yeah,
did you
tell
see?
us, tell us what you see behind.
Like you said,
the
behind the
scenes.
scenes. Behind the scenes. Now, I mean, it was the first time for me being at a hair show, so yes, it was a phenomenal night to see the happiness people was getting from coming off of the stage. It was a blessing to be able to see that. The practice,
Yeah.
and then to finally get on and do your thing. And when they come off the stage and to see them smiling and yeah, man, it was just it was wonderful.
A lot of high energy.
Yeah, a lot of high energy. A lot of high energy, and they had me running around doing everything, cutting hair,
What?
moving props, and all type of stuff. Man, it was
What about
wonderful.
what
It was
about
great.
the last minute pin-ups or to fix and make sure everything's right before they hit the platform?
Well, I ain't gonna speak on that.
Okay,
too much.
he's not gonna speak on
Yeah,
it.
it's a little-
Well, it was a great experience, especially for our newer students. This was their first show, first time being involved in one. Because what it did was it actually got their feet wet for that reunion show that we're going to have in
that's
March.
that's gonna be nice.
Yes, that's gonna be a head turner now.
It's gonna be a head
Yeah,
turner.
so
Got a surprise for you too.
I might have
I'm
a surprise for you too.
Speaking
Yeah.
of the show of March, I got a surprise.
yeah,
for
y'all
you
getting
all.
ready now. See what it did? It wet y'all whiskers a little bit. Now y'all ready to really dive in and you ready to give it your all. So that's awesome. We have Mr. Upchurch on the line who wants to call. He's calling to comment. Mr. Upchurch?
Hey, how you doing? Good morning.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
You ain't got to sound like Barry White,
fine,
Mr.
though.
Upchurch.
What's your comment, Upchurch?
No, I just wanted to call in and congratulate Mr. Bennett on his award and
Okay.
say how everybody did a excellent job. I mean, it really came together, and and Miss Spivey had that unfortunate fall, but she did it with such grace and whatnot. I mean, she got back up, like you said, and she continued to walk and stuff. And I thought that was good because she could have just.
Oh, she didn't go down there. She stumbled multiple times, but she held it up there with them 6 inches.
We are proud of her for
She held it up.
yeah, we proud of her for continuing on.
Mr. Upchurch, real quick.
No. We gonna hold Mr. Upchurch. Mr. Upchurch, hold on. We'll be right back. We gotta pay. Yeah, we'll be right back after these messages.
News updates on the web at WOLDCnews.com.
This report brought to you by APWU Health Plan, reminding you it's the countdown to better health, and this is your last day to enroll, December 8th. APWU, serving postal and federal employees and their annuitants. Go to apwuhp.com. Gas prices are still down, according to AAA Mid-Atlantic, which puts the average for regular in the D.C. Metro at $2.71, 7 cents cheaper than a week ago, but still higher than the national average of $2.68. Rolling Stone magazine has apologized for the way in which it reported a rape story. University of Virginia President Teresa Sullivan says the school still intends to review its policies on sexual assault.
Sullivan says UVA students, their safety, and their well-being remain the university's top priority. She says the news must not alter the focus on sexual violence on college campuses, and these UVA students agree.
No matter what, I think that awareness for sexual assault will continue. It's our responsibility, I think, to really make sure that there's awareness raised for the issue.
UVA officials say they're still committed to taking whatever action is needed to bring about meaningful cultural change at the school. I'm Erica Kane.
The Wizards host the Celtics tonight after losing yesterday to the Celtics in Boston, 101-93. A court has found Nationals outfielder Jason Worth guilty.
At least it's the off-season.
People look up to them, but they're people like anyone else. People make mistakes.
I think he should go to jail.
And he will be locked up 10 days for reckless driving. Police say over the summer, Worth got caught in Fairfax County going 105 miles an hour in a 55 zone. The 3-10 Redskins have lost 5 straight. St. Louis won yesterday 24-0. The Rams had 7 sacks and held Washington to 206 total yards. This report brought to you by Food Lion. Give the sensible gift this holiday season. Give Food Lion gift cards. Look for the gift card display located near the grocery checkouts. I'm John Lewis. When you're looking for news from Black America, go to newsone.com.
News Talk 1450 WOL AM, where information is power.
Good morning, everyone. This is Trendy Lindy live on the Sea Island Morning Show. Sea Island isn't in the studios today. I do have the awesome Daryl Rowe and Showtime. Yes. Showtime in here doing the WAP. Y'all know he old school. He old school. Well, anyway, we are talking to Mr. Upchurch. He's given us highlights from the Golden Scissor Awards. Upchurch?
Yeah.
All right. You can finish up. I think somebody had a question for Mr. Upchurch.
This is our Showtime. Can you give us can you give us your experience about being behind the scene? I saw you come on stage a few times, clearing the stage out. Can you give us a quick review of your experience being backstage, and let us pretty much know what goes on backstage and your experience of doing so?
It was a good experience. I've been to hair shows before because my brother used to cut hair with a hair razor back in the day. But it was a good experience. I mean, it gives, especially for somebody who haven't been there, it gives them an insight on what they go through, because they go through a lot. I mean, they was back there practicing. They walked. Yes. You know, they was getting dressed. They was doing. I mean, it was everything. Like me and Ro was back there trying to set the prop up, and everybody we come back there, they sitting down taking pictures on the clam and whatnot. I mean, it was crazy, but it was good though. I mean, and like I said, as far as the performances and everything or what have you, as far as with Bennett, you know, it came together. Like, you know, we was like a family. It was a group effort. It was truly a group effort. It was no one person that put that, you know, everybody came together and made it happen. And I think it was good. I think it looked good when it, you know, in spite of the little mishap or what have you. But like I said, she got back up and kept it moving, and I was proud of her. I thought that was good, because she could have just clammed up and, you know what I'm saying, act like she was in the water for real and whatnot. But yeah, but you know, but I just wanted to comment too also on Mr. Rowe and this real DC crap. You know.
Oh, Dallas Cowboys.
Dallas and what? Yeah, man, them Dallas Cowgirls and whatnot, man. You know what I'm saying? It's all good. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But it was good, and then I got to give a big up to Big Sis AC, man.
Yes,
she did her thing, man. She
the quadruple threat.
She did that. You understand? She let me see the finished product before everybody, and I looked at her and I said, "Man, you got that." Okay. I told her, "You gonna win that. You gonna take that."
That's awesome.
You know what I'm saying? And I was just glad that it happened. And I mean, I think everybody did good. Palmer, you know, Donnie the Barber, Palmer, he did good. You know, my man Smitty did good, man, for his first time. You know what I'm saying? It was his first time and whatnot. So, you know, Stokes, you know what I'm saying? I mean, Benard, you know what I'm saying? Everybody. You know, I just think everybody did good. I was glad that somebody from Bennett took it. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, it was truly an excellent show. I loved it. You know,
that's awesome.
Right, that's great.
Thank you so much, Up Church, for your call. Thank you. We appreciate it. Okay, so we're going to end talking about the highlights, but before we end, Showtime, tell us how our C. Allen was.
I got to say, I came and I looked.
Okay,
he had on
he who
Mr. Chat Bennett.
C. Allen Bennett.
C. Allen had a classic on, baby.
Okay,
he had on a full-length Frank Lucas mink. I'm talking about, hey, inches from the ground.
Okay.
Look at my fur, what I got on. This is not even, what is this right here?
Oh, no, that's cat.
That ain't even cat. That's sandpaper, baby, that's wet. That's sandpaper that's wet. Yeah, wet sandpaper. But what Mr. C. Allen was rocking,
he was sharp. He was clean.
That's Showtime material there, baby. Yeah, that mink was bad.
Okay.
I wonder if he took it back already.
You are something.
No, but it was nice. It was a great show, all in all. I mean, you know, I could sit there and talk about that Golden Scissors all day long.
Okay.
But it was great. And by the way, I wonder if he had to go with it.
We got to ask him.
I'm going to ask him.
Yeah, you got to ask him.
What do you think, bro?
I don't know.
Okay, so we want to give congratulations to everyone who won. We want to thank
for all participants.
We want to thank Glenn Jackson for doing such an awesome job with the event. We want to thank him also for recognizing our leader, C. Allen Bennett, with the Living Legend Award, which he really deserved.
Thank you also the doctors who donated the scholarships, the money, $25,000. There was several other people there who donated, who gave back for the cause of giving. It's great, and that's a lot. If you listen throughout the show, they gave away thousands of
dollars.
Gifts.
Bobby Boss, I think they gave away over $200,000 at the end of that Bobby Boss tour.
Right. Overall.
Yeah, overall. Yeah.
So it was really good. The whole thing, if you listen between, they always talking about giving.
And providing a platform for cosmetologists, barbers, and beauty professionals to showcase their work.
Yes.
Because a lot of times we don't get that opportunity.
Exactly.
So we thank Glenn Jackson and people who C. Allen Bennett, who are visionaries, to bring people along in the beauty industry and help them to be all that they can be and want to be. So we thank those type of people, and we congratulate. And we also want to say thank you to Miss Blunt for getting our presentation together and working with the students and going through all that she went through. So we want to thank everybody who participated on yesterday and who came out to support our leader, C. Allen Bennett. So we want to move on. We're talking this morning about the blame game. Who are you blaming for your lack of success? Whose fault is it? Is it your fault? Is it your mother's fault? Whose fault is it? Is it a problem because you're black?
Whose fault is it, Ro?
Whose fault is it? But you know what? We have a special guest on the line. We have Mr. Coach Carter, who want to come on and he want to share with us a little bit about who he is, what he does, and those type of things. Coach Carter, you on the line?
Good morning, guys. Good morning. Great to be here.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Coach.
Welcome to the C. Allen Morning Show. We appreciate you calling in. Tell us who you are and a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm a former student athlete from UDC. I used to play linebacker up there. I was a All-American candidate. Had a couple opportunities to play, not professionally, but I went to a few combines. But like I tell all of my athletes within our organization, student athletes, educational opportunities, that basically 1 out of every 10,000 student athletes makes it to the pros. So you have to have a game plan to have something to fall back on. Originally born in Brooklyn, but raised up in D.C.
Okay.
So I claim both cities as my hometown. And I'm the founder of this organization that basically the core mission is to provide educational, career, and health services for student athletes on all levels.
Awesome. So tell us, what are you busy doing these days? What has your attention?
Well, currently the organization, we are really focusing on this concussion and domestic violence issue, mainly the concussion issue. We have a campaign called the I Promise campaign. Mm-hmm. It's all about raising awareness and education about sports-related concussions and young athletes, particularly those young athletes that reside in inner cities. And the reason why we focus on the inner city athletes is because we focus too much on sports as our way of getting out of the neighborhood, or sports as our way of acquiring an education. So we really don't have another plan. Sports is really it. So this particular group are more apt to put themselves at risk for a second and third concussion, which we now know can be crippling, because we have so many former NFL players who are suing the NFL, saying that the NFL should have known that this injury had life-changing circumstances.
Wow. Okay, so how can, and what are some of the things that you're doing, Coach Carter? You're going around and you're bringing awareness to certain high schools, or what?
Well, we're in high schools. We that's a good question. We have a really aggressive outreach campaign where we're in the high schools, the Boys and Girls Clubs. We are sponsored by the CDC and Children's National Medical Center. They provide us all of the materials that we need to pass out and distribute to community residents. We train our high school students to get community service hours, but they have to be trained on being able to answer questions about, what the signs and symptoms and risk factors are relating to concussion. So that's really the part of our outreach, is to educate. So along with the materials that we pass out, we want to make sure that our students that are involved in the campaign are well equipped in terms of their knowledge to help community residents learn about the risk factors associated with sports-related concussion. So we do a lot of outreach. We have a partnership with Giant, where we have informational kiosks where we're set up in the actual Giant, and we're able to engage with the community in regards to this issue. I wanted to tell you guys about an upcoming event we have coming up on this Friday at the Buffalo Wild Wings in Crystal City. The fundraiser is basically we're going to be having like 4 different activities. There's a speak out session where people can come out. Of course, we want you to come out there and buy wings, because we get part of the proceeds to support our campaign. But a speak out session where you get opportunity to talk about your perspective on both concussions and domestic violence on and off the playing field. We have a Blazing Wing Challenge where you can participate in that. And also we're doing from 6 to 7 p.m. right in front of the Buffalo Wild Wings, we're going to be doing a candlelight visual, recognizing all of those athletes who died from suffering from concussion. There was a young man named Costa Carageorge from Ohio State. He was missing for like a week, and he was found in a dumpster with a note saying that I can't take these concussions any longer. So we're going to do a candlelight visual recognizing all the athletes that committed suicide from their suffering from concussion. So we want to tell your audience to come on out to Buffalo Wild Wings in Crystal City. They can go to our website, www.s as in Sam, A as in Apple, F as in Frank, EO.org, to learn more information.
Okay. Wow. Coach Carter, the topic today is the blame game. Whose fault is it? We want you to tell us real briefly, when a team does not win, whose fault is it? Is it the player's fault? Is it the coach's fault? Because you are a coach. Whose fault is it when the team doesn't win? Whose fault is it? For instance, the Redskins got 0-26 yesterday. Was that? So who's to blame for things like that?
Well, the Redskins, they're a hot mess right now, and there's a lot of blame in that situation that can go around from coaching to players to egos So, I mean, you really can't, like, just pin it on one particular individual in terms of whose fault it is, in terms of why they actually are losing. I think they need a revamp or rehaul to kind of determine where they're going to go moving forward. But if you want to try to, minimize it and come up with, some blame, I would say definitely the offensive line. Don't know how to protect. They don't have the wherewithal to protect their quarterback. But at the same time, you can equally blame the quarterback.
Hold right there for me, Coach Carter. We're gonna go to commercial break, and then I'm gonna let you come back with final remarks when we come back.
Pay some bills.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
News updates on the web at WOLDCnews.com.
Good morning. It's WOL Traffic and Weather Update brought to you by the Foundation for a Better Life. On 395 northbound at the inbound 14th Street Bridge, the left lane is blocked with an accident heading from Arlington into the district. Northbound on the Baltimore-Washington Parkway, that bus fire that created a huge delay northbound on the Parkway at 197 in Laurel is gone now. Everything is open. So if you're heading up to BWI Marshall Airport, not bad on the BW Parkway northbound anymore. Southbound is better now that there's much less to see on the other side of the Parkway. Winston Churchill's words stirred his country in the face of defeat. Today they inspire us to reach for our own victories. Commitment, pass it on from the Foundation for a Better Life at values.com. Now your WOL weather forecast for today, remaining mostly cloudy, highs in the upper 30s. For tonight, periods of rain down to 37. Tomorrow, rain early, then cloudy with showers in the afternoon, and a high near 43. Steve Hirschhorn for News Talk 1450 WOL, where information is power.
News Talk 1450 WOL AM, where information is power.
What's your thoughts?
Good morning, everyone. This is the Sea Island Morning Show. This is Trendy Lindy. I'm in the studio with Ro and Showtime. We want to remind you that Sea Island is giving away
the Obamacare Hair Challenge Package.
All right. So what does that consist of?
This is a shampoo, a facial, and a haircut for a whopping $25. The average price, I believe, is $40, $45.
Okay.
But the Sea Island Signature Salon is offering it for only $25, which is great.
Okay.
It is the Obama package. It's a haircut, comes with a facial, and also a wonderful, magnificent shampoo.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. So you call 202-526 1400
Station 19.
Extension 19, and Sea Island will get you hooked up with that.
That's right.
Okay, so we are finishing up with Coach Carter. We have him on the line. Showtime, you had a question for Coach Carter regarding. You had one, Ro?
Okay, go ahead, Ro.
Well, Coach Carter.
Yes, sir.
How you doing, man?
I'm great. I'm great.
I don't believe it's too much you can do about concussions as far as in the league. What would be your suggestion?
That's actually a great question. Got into an argument with one lady at the Giant about it. She said the same thing that you said. But I believe from a long-term standpoint, it's really all about the awareness factor and preventative training in terms of technique.
Okay.
I mean, I know that football is a spontaneous interaction, but if you're more aware, and this is more of an evolutionary thing. It's not going to happen overnight.
Right.
It's just like you've been able to see how players are beginning to adjust with excessive headbutt or not using the head. Right. There was a call last night at one game. Where the guy really didn't even use his head. It was his shoulder.
Yeah, I saw that.
He tried to do the right thing, but at the same time, he got called for the penalty.
Sure
so
did.
it's an evolutionary thing. It starts with the little league, trying to train them. As a matter of fact, I think our organization this summer, we're going to have a concussion awareness skills and drills summer camp.
Right.
Trying to teach kids, the safe way of trying to make tackles.
Yeah,
so that was a great question. You're probably right. It's really difficult to prevent because it's part of the game. Your parents, your kids signed up for this. They're putting themselves at risk. That's just the nature of the game.
Right.
So, great question, and get back to me in about 5 more years. I have some more better answers.
Hey, Coach Carter, do you all? This is Showtime. Myself, Washington, and DC, we had what you call an off-season workout that was given to us, and it showed who participated on the off-season and being in shape or just doing the required things that your coach you actually do in the off-season. I finally realized that what it does, it helps to minimize some of the injuries that goes on. Even today's athletes, pro football players, the ones you always hear the ones who hold out the contracts, who's waiting, they skip training camp, they skip the combines and so forth, and then they wait for this big large check, they get it, and then they wind up getting hurt the first, second game, and a lot of it's due to because they wasn't in shape.
Right.
Along with you teaching these gentlemen how to properly make tackles and so forth. You like Mr. Rowe was saying earlier, you can't prevent an injury or accident from happening. It's like getting in your car, you put your seatbelt on, but if somebody hits you at the wrong angle, or a lot of the things which you cannot control is trauma, the pain. They say every week it's equivalent to being in a car accident when these guys playing football. So it's like, every week you take your money through a car crash.
Right.
And you can't train for trauma, because that's, pounds per pressure, your body's been, shocked at it. So, but I agree, is something that was long overdue, being educated and what some of the signs to look for, as far as all these injuries and so forth, because I can't even imagine how many, over the years, and I got into football in the early 80s, many times I had headaches, but we didn't have the education or the doctors or the, physicians that say, hey, you have a, concussion, so.
Well, back then they used it, you got dinged.
Right. You can't remove it, but it's great that you are bringing this out to the forefront. Let me ask you this: Are your organization currently putting stimulations for some of these middle schools and high schools that they should have some set standard? Because I know they have, they have to take a physical, I believe. Is there something else that's more in depth and extent that can protect the children who's playing these physical sports, that they also have to come back showing something that mentally, and also that it's no brain injuries or anything like that you have going on?
All the school systems are doing a pretty good job. They have all protocols in place where if you suspect that your student athlete suffered a concussion, and they must be cleared by a licensed neurologist. But that's the whole main issue. A lot of times, these first responders that are on the field that come to these games, that are basically, the ambulance. They're the ones who are actually the first person that detect whether these, outside the coach. Once the coach determines it, then there's an ambulance called if it's a severe traumatic brain injury that takes place. A lot of these inner cities student athletes their families don't have the resources, the long-term resources to get a licensed neurologist to do the proper follow-up, because you can do an initial assessment, and then after that, it's all about how much can you pay for your child to keep coming back to be seen for that proper follow-up, because it takes a minute. Sometimes a student cannot focus on their schoolwork. They can't even really survive in light, if they have like real bright lights in their homes. So, it's a lot of adjustments that need to be made, in terms of being able to survive and function after you have these concussions. So, that's a great question. I mean, it's a dichotomy between those who have that resource and those who don't.
Right. Well,
wait. I was going to ask him, so do you think keeping a specialist on the sideline would be like something that should be done?
Yeah, but they just got to have a budget for it to pay them.
Right. Well, I believe they got budgets for it. They got tons of money they put on in different programs. That's I think they can, even if somebody an intern person, they can have
trained for
that. That can sit on the sideline.
So, Coach Carter, if people want more information regarding football, concussions, and how to prevent it and be safe, and want to be a part of anything that you're doing, how can they reach out to you?
Oh, they definitely can go to the website at S as in Sam, A as in Apple, F as in Frank, EO.org. Or they can also go to our Facebook, just search for Student Athlete for Life. Or they can call us here directly at the office at 240-467-3562.
All right, thank you. Okay, say it one more time. Mr. Rowe needs say it a little slow. Which one? The phone number? Rowe wants his phone number. Okay.
240-467-3562. I just want to point out one other thing to your listeners, especially the ones who have parents. We have a really strong community service outreach where students can get community service hours through our organization. Right now we have over 30 kids that are working through our organization with the Washington Redskins, volunteering for the concession stand. And these kids are getting a lot of exposure, and they get opportunity to not only, in some cases, meet some of the players, but they're getting managerial skills, hospitality skills. And it's just such a great honor to actually work with these students, because a lot of them are really open to learning. And so, all your listeners out there, they got students that are looking for community service hours. We definitely urge them to come through our organization and sign them up.
And what age? What ages?
From like 14 on up to 19 years of age.
14 to 19 years old. Okay, wonderful.
Right.
Yeah, we'll definitely be sending some people your way. Well, thanks again, Coach Carter.
Coach Carter, you there for a second?
Yeah.
Did you ever was a member at a gym at Fitness First downtown?
No.
Okay, this is curious.
That's a different Coach Carter.
Okay. Coach Carter.
But thank you so much, Coach Carter, for calling in and helping us to make our listening audience aware of what's going on with our children on the football teams and concussions and the seriousness of it, and how we can help to prevent it and keep our children safe. Thank you so much for that, and we'll be talking to you soon.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
Buffalo Wild Wings this Friday, yo.
That's right. That's right. Okay. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
All right. Peace.
All right now.
Again. Remember, all callers that just came across my iPad. I'm looking at it right now.
What did it say?
Tell them, Ro.
The first 5 callers.
The first 5 callers. The first 5
reach
callers.
out to Bennett at 202-526-1400.
We'll get what?
Extension 19.
Extension 19. Well, they will get what?
The Obama package.
The Obama
package that consists of a fabulous haircut, a great facial, and also a wonderful shampoo.
Oh my
Can't beat that.
Now,
it's a $40 package.
guys,
They're getting it for $25 at the Seattle Signature Salon.
So is it the first 5 that's getting it for the $25?
First 5 callers are called 202. The number is 202-526-1400, extension 19. The first 5 callers will receive the Obama's hair care package for men. You get a haircut, shampoo, and a wonderful facial. You know I got to really love Mr. Seattle Signature because my salon.
It's right down the street.
It's right.
You know what? It looked like Lonzo is on the phone. You trying to get that package? Lonzo trying to get that package. Anyway, we'll be right back. He's sending me to break so he can call and get that package. We'll be right back. We'll be back.
Tell him he can get a facial right there.
We'll be back after we pay these bills.
News updates on the web at WOLDCnews.com.
Welcome, NBA fans. Tonight's NBA
Man, nothing beats seeing an NBA game in person. Hey, buddy, thanks again for driving. So, where are our seats?
Oh, we're sitting right around the corner. Hey, but before we do anything, let me stop for a second at the designated driver booth and make the pledge.
Excuse me, sir. Did you say designated driver?
Yeah, I'm the designated driver tonight.
Congratulations. You are a winner. And for being the designated driver and always buckling up every trip, every time, you have won the adoration of your friends and family who will get home safely from the game.
Cool.
Your prize also includes the gratitude of all of the drivers on the road who won't have to fear for their lives. And finally, you've won the chance to follow your favorite NBA team to the NBA Finals because responsibility has its rewards.
Woo! Yeah!
To find out more, visit the designated driver booth at the arena or visit rhir.org. A message from this station and Team Coalition.
It's 3 p.m.
For 50 million kids across America, school's out. And for a third of these kids, they're out on their own. Out with nothing to do and nowhere to go. Gives a whole new meaning to the 3 o'clock bell, doesn't it? It's time to support the Boys and Girls Clubs. Visit greatfutures.org.
1450 WOL, Washington, D.C., and WPRS HD2, Waldorf, Washington, a Radio 1 station, and worldwide at WOLDCnews.com.
The views and opinions of the following show do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of News Talk 1450 WOL, Radio 1 Incorporated, or their management.
Ooh-wee, I tell you.
Hey.
Now, see, Allen is fun. I'm going to tell you, when we're in the studio, we do everything. The walk, the running man, and all of that. But we got Showtime and Road.
You don't remember this.
You should see the dance Showtime doing. It's crazy. Okay. All right, let's get back to it. We're talking about the blame game.
Sweaty when I dance.
He's still talking about dancing. Crazy. Okay. We're talking about the blame game. Whose fault is it? Whose fault is it when we're in business Showtime and the business goes belly up? It doesn't last. It's only there for a hot minute. What's going on with that? Whose fault is it? Is it the owner's fault? Is it the employee's fault? Is it whose fault is it?
We got to blame it on somebody.
Who we gonna blame it on though?
What's always say blame it on?
We gonna blame it on the players? It's players in the business. What is going on? We done moved now. If you want to talk about the football, we can talk about that. But we done moved on to the business.
The business aspect.
Whose fault? Now, Showtime, you had a business before.
Yes, I had a business before. Yes,
okay, and the business went out of business for what reason?
Well, actually, the business.
Whose fault was it? Showtime.
The business actually didn't go out of business. I walked away from the business due to it was more legal aspect parts of it. It was an up and running successful business, but my partner at the time, to make a very long story short, I was married, and I made a very, very, very bad mistake with, and I learned something behind it. You know, you learn from everything. Go into business with somebody who's into business, and not because of friends, families, or relationships, what have you. And I clearly just walked away from him.
Okay.
And the other half, she didn't know anything about the business, and it just crumbled. You know, and it really.
So, do you blame her? Was it her fault?
Well, I mean, I did something, and in business, this is also, I'm glad we're speaking on this.
Okay.
Never make a decision. I always say this, I learned this from my mother a long time ago. Never make a decision when you're angry. Never make a decision when you're upset.
Yeah.
And I made a decision when I was angry, when I was upset, when I just walked away, when I should have just, meditated, got myself together, said, oh, wait a minute, because I had several employees who was working for me.
Okay.
And I thought about myself by just walking away, when I should have. A business move, a business strategy would have been thinking about the business first, my employees, and the people I had working for me.
Okay.
And that was a lesson learned behind that. But it's so many of us who quick to point the fingers outward, and we don't do one of the most important things in business, and that is to research.
Yes.
And do homework.
Yes.
Yes. I take as much experience that I have, and I learn. I constantly take Mr. C. Allen business classes. He has ones coming up also.
Yeah.
And you can never get enough classes. There's always something you're gonna learn, something you didn't hear the first time.
That's right.
And it can be a very, very great detrimental part.
Hold tight for a Showtime. We have Dave from the city on the line. We want him to comment. Dave, are you there? Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Trendy Lindy.
Good morning, Dave. How are you, sir?
Oh, I'm doing fine. I'd just like to congratulate C. Allen and everybody that was involved for such a well done job.
Well, thank you.
Thank you. Good morning, Dave.
Thank you.
Oh, man, I was, I'm one of them old heads. I was just thinking that since y'all doing so many shows, y'all need to get together and put on one for all the old heads like me that got out of the game and get ready to come out of retirement.
Okay, that sounds like a good idea. Old school versus new school. What do you think about that, Dave?
That's what I'm talking about.
So you think you still got it, Dave? Do you still got it? You still have it?
Well, I'm gonna just be honest with y'all. After get my C. Allen signature, I'll have it. I'm gonna put it with all.
That's right, baby. That's right. Hey, we go Marcel's versus Flatirons, huh?
Because I'm gonna put it with what I already know.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, real quick before you leave, Dave, whose fault is it when a business is unsuccessful? Is it the owner's fault? Is it the employees, the manager? Who's at blame when the business goes belly up?
Okay. Well, I could be wrong about this, but I'm gonna take a quick shot at it. Sometimes it's poor planning, but then sometimes, let's say if you're going through a regentrification thing like we're going through Washington, people come in to jack your rent up, extra $500, $600, $700 that you weren't anticipating on, then you might gotta go out of business if you ain't got enough capital. So it could be kind of like a combination of things sometimes.
Okay.
But most of the time, when an owner fails, it's because he didn't plan properly.
Okay, very good. Well, thank you, Dave, for calling in. We're going to work on that new school versus old school show. We're going to work on that. We're going to let Showtime work on that, okay?
That's right.
And we're going to give you a call, all right?
Oh, I appreciate it.
Okay, thank you. Talk to you next week.
All
right, thank you. We now want to go to Tyrone. Has Tyrone been holding on that long? Tyrone.
Good morning to everybody.
Good morning, Tyrone. You are such a awesome, faithful listener. We appreciate you so much, Tyrone. I just want to say that again.
I appreciate everything that you all do, you and Mr. C. Allen. And I just want to, first of all, I want to ask you, what is your extension? Because I called it one time. I called 18 and a guy answered.
Oh, okay. My extension is 18 still.
He called your cell phone. He called your house phone. He called the house phone by mistake.
No, my extension is still 18, Tyrone. Leave it.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm in and out until January. So you may get me or you may get someone who's at my desk. But you can leave a message on 18 or 19. If you have a message, just leave one with me or C. Allen.
Because I had a Thanksgiving message for you.
You did, and I missed it.
I didn't leave it because it was a guy that answered the phone.
Oh, you didn't leave it because the guy answered.
Well, the guy answered it, came on the voicemail.
Oh, yeah. You know who that is? That's Andre. That's Henry.
Oh, is he there now?
No, he's not there. He's not there, but he's still with us. He's in the field. He's doing other things, but he's always with us. Andre does a host of things. He DJs. He has his own business. He does. He designed cards and all of that. He's still with us though.
I met him down at the convention center where I was that time. I really missed him coming on the show.
Okay.
So if you see him, if you talk to him, give him my love and tell him I said have a blessed and safe Christmas holiday season.
We will do that.
And the Blame Game days, they started a long time ago. Actually, started back there with Adam and Eve.
Yes.
She pointed a finger at him, and he pointed a finger at her, and she pointed a finger at the so-called the snake.
That's right.
So, I would say that in my situation, my parents had some blame because they were not married to each other. They were married, but not to each other. But I also, as I got older, I also I do take some of the blame also. Although I did get my education, and I was able to move on. I was able to find a job at the time that I was working. Right now, I'm not able to work at this point because I'm still have a couple of disabilities.
Okay.
But what I mainly called to say is I want to congratulate C. Allen on that award.
Okay.
And I also want to say because of financial reasons, that's why I was not able to attend.
Okay.
But I want to congratulate him, and I want to thank you and thank him for everything that you all do on WOL and throughout the community.
Well,
Let him know, Tyrone, if he can make this one, we got the reunion show coming up in March, so he'd be more than welcome. That'd be just as great.
Well, we'll see, because March is not that far, but it's far enough for me to try to, maybe put together something. Hopefully, financially, I'd be able to make that one. But I want all y'all to have a blessed and safe week, and a blessed and safe week to Mr. C. Allen.
Well, you do the same, Tyrone. You have a blessed week, and we look forward to you calling next time.
Let Tyrone know. Let Tyrone know. This is what I'm going to do.
Hold on, Tyrone.
The spirit just touched me.
Okay, the spirit done touched Showtime.
This is what I'm going to do for Mr. Tyrone.
What you going to do for Tyrone?
I want you to call Tyrone.
Hey,
Tyrone, this is what I'm going to do for you. This is what I'm going to do for you, Tyrone. I am going to personally I'm going to purchase you a ticket.
For the reunion?
For the reunion show.
That's all right.
I'm a person, Tyrone. He's always calling in. And Linda got so excited when you lit her. She saw you on the coast. She said, that's Tyrone. Tyrone, I never met you, brother. But the spirit is touching me to say, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to purchase a ticket for the reunion. Our school reunion show is in March. If you, I will pray and hope that you physically able to make it.
Okay.
And the ticket will be for you there. So you have information. You got your number.
Yeah.
You have information. So if you're available, the ticket will be there for you. And if you'd like to bring a guest, let me know. Matter of fact, I have two.
This case you bring that's somebody. Awesome.
I'm going to do that for Mr. Tyrone.
That is awesome.
I greatly appreciate that. Yeah. And I'll have to call Trinity Lindy and give her my a full name and address.
Yeah, you give it. That's a complimentary of Showtime, also with C. Allen Morning Show. And remember, Mr. Tyrone, come through.
That's right.
I want Father God. I know He will.
Okay.
I want Him to give you a special blessing.
All right, but thank you. God bless you.
I know He'll give me a special blessing to be there.
That's right.
That's right.
Well, this is the season for giving. This is the Christmas season, and
C. Allen.
It's
always giving.
It's always giving.
Yes.
Giving.
And thank you for calling the C. Allen Morning Show.
So Tyrone, make sure you leave a message on my extension, and as soon as the tickets are available, we'll make sure you get your set. Okay, and that's all compliments of Showtime Barber Salon.
Showtime, where is your shop?
Actually, I'm right down the street from 705. I am located at 923 U Street Northwest.
My goodness, I go in that area quite a bit. And is that down from Patterson Junior High, isn't it?
Yes.
Is
that Patterson next door? But they switch the schools up so much. It's
okay. Well, we Tyrone, just call my extension or call extension 19, and we'll get you Showtime's information so you can speak to him and thank 18, him properly.
Right? It's 18.
Yes, 18 or 19.
Okay, darling.
Okay, thank you, Tyrone. Have a great, blessed day.
You have a blessed week.
Okay, you do the same. Okay, so that was wonderful. Thank you, Showtime. We appreciate you. That's why we like having you in the studio.
Well,
you a mini C. Allen.
Hey, look, that's what we do at the C. Allen Morning Show / Bennett Career. We into giving.
Yes, we are. Well, let's go real quick before we get to talking about our relationship segment, because we got to deal with that. I love relationships. Okay, but let's talk about in business. Now, this is what I personally think. I think a lot of businesses are failing because of poor management. I think that the owners are jumping. They have this skill. Sometimes they have a few dollars, and they jump out there and get this building, sometimes a little bit more than they need. They accrue a lot of overhead, and they didn't do the research. I mean, what's the competition? How many of the same businesses are on your street? I mean, what is the demand for your product? Right. How many people even know about you? What's your marketing budget? Because a lot of us, we fail when it comes to marketing. We don't market. And what's the famous quote? It doesn't matter how good you are. It doesn't matter
how good you are if don't nobody know.
So you have to market. A lot of us fail. Madam C.J.
I got it right, C. Allen.
BBI, he got it right.
I got it right.
But really, because a lot of us, we fail because we do not market. We rely on that skill that we have, which is awesome. But you got to you need more than that.
We have to. Myself, I'm gonna speak for myself. And a great part of it, we don't plan. We don't plan ahead, and I want to get more into it. and basically a real one-on-one scenario in business. You gotta have a product. You gotta have something that's gonna be a catch.
Yeah.
But one-on-one business is if you have a rent or a mortgage that's $1,000, and if you make $1,200, well, don't get something that costs $1,000 when you're only making $1,200.
Exactly.
Get a rent that costs $500. Get a rent that costs $450, $500. I'm speaking on lower numbers, of course, but it gives you leeway for when things happen, when things come about that's just not implanted in your budget.
Yeah.
But you have that cap that you won't run over. You got that room, that space to, stretch it if you need to.
Yeah. Okay, so when we come back, I'm excited because we have a special guest on the line. We got a special guest. We're getting ready to get into relationships, and who's to blame in a relationship when it doesn't work? Whose fault is it?
Who you gonna blame it on?
We're gonna talk about it when we come back after these messages.
Who you gonna blame it on, bro?
News updates on the web at WOLDCnews.com.
Good morning. This WOL Traffic Update is brought to you by Heritage for the Blind. On South Capitol Street northbound, everything's open now. The accident that was past the Douglas Bridge at O Street cleared. Up around the Beltway, we're okay. The earlier bus fire still on the side of the roadway at the BW Parkway, northbound at 197, being cleared up as well. V-Star, donate your car to Heritage for the Blind. Call 1-800-DONATE-CARS or 1-800-446-1234. Now your WOL weather forecast brought to you by the Foundation for a Better Life. For today, cloudy, high near 39. A few raindrops overnight, down to 37. Tomorrow, early rain, then cloudy with showers in the afternoon, high near 43. Winston Churchill's words stirred his country in the face of defeat. Today, they inspire us to reach for our own victories. Commitment, pass it on from the Foundation for a Better Life at values.com. Steve Hirschhorn for News Talk 1450 WOL, where information is power.
News Talk 1450 WOL AM, where information is power.
Good morning, everyone. This is Trendy Lindy, and this is the Sea Island Morning Show. And on this morning, we have been talking about the blame game. Whose fault is it? Before we go on and introduce our next special guest, we want to give condolences. Go ahead, Ro.
Condolences out to Anthony Cherry. Anthony Cherry's family. He lost his mother this morning.
Okay. Anthony Cherry is one of the men of Sea Island who we love dearly. So we want to extend prayers to him and his family for the loss of his mother that they endured this morning. And we ask, that, you would just pray for him. Yes. Okay. One more. Before we get to our special guest, we want to take Caesar really quick. Good morning, Caesar.
Caesar.
Good morning. How you doing?
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Doing good. I definitely want to, send a prayer out to Mr. Cherry and his family. That's a very tough loss. I just heard that. I'm listening to y'all on the internet, so it's kind of delayed.
Okay.
So I just want to, get the topic. Are you guys still talking about felony business?
Yes, you can make a comment on whose fault is it.
I agree, like I said, with you about, sometimes it got to do with management and also the actual ownership coming together with a plan, because you can never really blame the employees if, nobody's stepping up and leading them and telling them what to do. I mean, it's like having some kids and, you lose your house and you blaming your kids. You know what I mean? So I was going to say, like, the owners and the management have to come together with a collective plan to make sure things run a certain kind of way.
Okay, that's good. What we lack a lot is good leadership. You're right. So it's hard to, come to the plate with what you're supposed to do if you're not giving proper instruction. So I agree with that as well, Caesar. Y'all agree?
Oh, yeah. You have, you have to, you need mentors. You need leaders. Mm-hmm. And my thing, I learned a lot from Mr. Sea Island himself, Mr. BBI.
Yeah.
And you look at success,
Mm-hmm.
The big blue companies, how they're around so many multiple years, a lot of these top stocks, what are they doing? So yeah, it plays a big part.
Very good, very good. Well, thank you for your comment, Caesar. We appreciate you. See you soon.
All right, God bless y'all. And I just want to also give a formal congratulations to Mr. Bennett on this award. That was amazing. I'm glad to be a part of Saving Men.
Exactly. Right. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Have a good day.
All right. Okay, so now we're getting ready to move into relationship showtime, and we have the amazing Marissa Nelson on the line. Good morning, Marissa.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
Wonderful, wonderful. Tell our radio audience who you are and what you do.
My name is Marissa Nelson. I am a licensed couples and sex therapist here in D.C.
Yes. All right. You know, Showtime eyes got humongous when he heard what you do. And he got his fist up and saying, yes.
Oh, no.
Somebody with experience.
What are we going to get into today? I wonder.
He said somebody with experience.
Somebody with experience.
That's Showtime. Okay, well, we're going to get right into it on today. We've been talking about the blame game. Whose fault is it? And Tyrone, he hit the nail when he talked a little bit about how it goes way back to the garden with Adam and Eve, and how we are still fussing and we're still blaming the finger and pointing the finger at Eve, and we're pointing the finger at Adam, and we're saying no, it's his fault. He should have stood his ground and did what God commanded. And then we're saying no, it's Eve's fault. She if it wasn't for her presenting the little fruit to him and telling him to eat, he would have never ate, and we wouldn't have never fell into sin.
Just like a woman.
No, see, that is not right. First of all, nothing happened to the world until Adam ate, because Adam is the leader. So we've been talking about whose fault is this. So Mr. Rose says it's a partnership. What you say about that, Rose?
I think it's a partnership. It's a joint effort.
It's a joint effort.
Yes.
Okay, so Showtime.
You said it's a joint effort, bro.
Yeah, in a
whose fault was it?
That's the only what's going to happen if two people join together.
Right.
Pressing skin, baby.
Right.
Okay, well,
that's Showtime.
It's a multiple things. You know, honestly, I'm going to say this. You know, relationships, blaming, and you have to, one thing we don't do, and it's very, very important in a relationship, we have to learn how to forgive. Okay. We have to learn how to forgive. And it goes back to, we were talking about, like with the sports, you know, who fault is the team. We have to also learn how to take our faults. You got to do it. Because nothing will be fixed if you haven't fixed yourself first. And be honest about fixing yourself. You know, so you'll continue on back and forth in the relationship and trying to figure out, you blame this person, blaming that person. And actually, it can be something very minor. That's about being honest and learn how to first forgive yourself, along with, you know, whatever the situation may have been. But that takes a lot of maturity. It takes a lot of growth to be able to exercise something like that. But we won't blame it on the women, though.
Yeah, of course. The men gonna blame it on. Okay, so audience, our number is 1-800-450-7876. If you want to chime in to talk about relationships and whose fault is and why we're blaming each other, call in. But Marissa, talk to us. Tell us what's going on in relationships with us blaming each other. What's happening?
You know, I get that a lot. A lot of times when couples come into my office, they're like, it's his fault for not, you know, taking me out more. It's her fault for not wanting to, you know, make love as often. And people are pointing the fingers constantly at one another. And I just want to piggyback and say, you know what? It takes two for a dynamic. Need both people involved, because it's not just about what's happening with one person. It's the way the one person reacts that starts the cycle, right? So if I'm offended by something that happens, I'm going to, you know, I might act out. I might be upset. I might be sad, and the way that my partner reacts to me is really going to determine how we move forward, because we are not accountable a lot of times for our own actions, and our own feelings. We want somebody else to fix it when both people played a part into that dynamic.
Exactly.
That's right.
Exactly.
That's true.
We have a caller on the line who wants to chime in. We're going to take the caller, and we want Marissa to stay on, Lonzo, with our callers. Okay, we have John. Thank you for calling the Sea Island Morning Show. You have a comment?
Yes. What does a man do with a postmenopausal woman who has no sex drive? Is there like some and without? Is there any type of treatment without medication or anything? How do we handle that?
He said, "If a woman don't have a sex drive."
Marissa.
Yes, actually there's various treatment options, but the first thing that I ask is, number one, hormones very much affect the libido and sex drive. So I want to, first things off, I would want for both of you to go to a consultation to an OB/GYN doctor, just to make sure what's happening with her, or and also for both of you to be able to talk about what's going on for you too, knowing that your wife is now postmenopausal. And I mean, I would ask plenty of questions like, what was your sex life before? What are you looking for now? As we age through the life cycle, our sexuality changes, and it's not going to look the same at 60 that it looked at 30. So there are lots of questions along the way that you need to ask. But first things first, make sure that both of you go to see your OBGYN, just to talk about, the changes in hormones, to see if there's any medication or anything to that effect. And also, I would really recommend counseling too.
We've already done that. We know what the issue is, and it's it is our body chemistry has changed. But without medication, is there any other things to practice? And why don't we ever discuss this with our kids in school so that they can be prepared before these things happen? Because menopause is menopause and sexual behavior kind of hits you all at one time. It's like one day you are, and the next day you ain't, and there ain't much in between. And and without medication, is there anything that you know of that can kind of trying to find a solution?
Yeah. There would be so much assessment questions that I would need to ask before I can even throw out a solution. So I don't treat every case the same. And so even given that she's postmenopausal, there's still a lot of assessment questions, a lot of sexual history, and a lot of things that I would need to know before I can give any treatment options. But typically, medication is the first line of attack when we're dealing with sexual desire. And then another thing is really about counseling and talking about, how do we turn ourselves on and how do we turn ourselves off? Another thing, because a lot of times we believe that our partner is in charge of our sexual satisfaction, when in fact we play as much of a role in our sexual sathsatisfaction.
Very much so.
So there's just so many questions that I would have to ask before I can throw that out. So
I thought I could call and get some answers. I guess
this is a process. There's not a one-size-fits-all approach to sexuality or issues. So, yeah.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Well, good luck. Take care.
West Coast Productions helps, man.
Marissa, you want to give out your information again for those who are listening who may not want to call in, but they want to contact you for a consultation or for whatever reason. You want to give out your information?
Oh, absolutely. My practice is XOXO Therapy, and you can find me at Marissa, MARISSA, at XOXOtherapy.com. Follow me on Twitter at XOXO Therapy.
Okay, say that number real slow for us one more time.
My number is 202-374-7448.
And that's go ahead.
XOXOtherapy.com.
Y'all got that? XOXOtherapy.com. That's excellent. So, Marissa, you brought up a valid point. We're going to go to break in a moment, but a lot of people think it's the partner's responsibility to come with the ready for intimacy, ready for sex. It's the partner's job to get them ready. And what do you say to that?
I think that we all have our own sense of what we like, what our partner knows what we like, and I think that we assume that when we go into sexual encounters that somehow we're not able to communicate our needs and our desires effectively to our partners. While, we are and we should have agency over our own sexuality, our own, desire, the things that turn us on, the things that we like, but we need to be able to share that and kind of reach across that bridge to be able to communicate that with our partners. So again, when it comes back to blame and responsibility, yes, it's the responsibility of both people to be able to co-construct what our sexuality and our sexual life is going to look like. It's not just one person.
Okay, wonderful. Hold tight, Marissa. We got to go pay some bills. Then we got to come back. We got plenty of questions for you, Marissa. We'll be back in a few moments.
Plenty.
1450 WOL.
This report brought to you by Food Line MVP Specials. Vine cluster tomatoes, just $1.49 a pound. Select varieties, Bird's Eye steam fresh vegetables, 5 for $5. Gas prices are still down, according to AAA Mid-Atlantic, which puts the average for regular in the D.C. Metro at $2.71, 7 cents cheaper than a week ago, but still higher than the national average of $2.68. Rolling Stone magazine has apologized for the way in which it reported a rape story. University of Virginia President Teresa Sullivan says the school still intends to review its policies on sexual assault.
Sullivan says UVA students, their safety, and their well-being remain the university's top priority. She says the news must not alter the focus on sexual violence on college campuses, and these UVA students agree.
No matter what, I think that awareness for sexual assault will continue. It's our responsibility, I think, to really make sure that there's awareness raised for the issue.
UVA officials say they're still committed to taking whatever action is needed to bring about meaningful cultural change at the school. I'm Erica Kane.
The Wizards host the Celtics tonight after losing yesterday to the Celtics in Boston, 101-93. A court has found Nationals outfielder Jason Worth guilty.
At least it's the off season. People look up to them, but they're people like anyone else. People make mistakes.
I think he should go to jail.
And he will be locked up 10 days for reckless driving. Police say over the summer, Worth got caught in Fairfax County going 105 miles an hour in a 55 zone. The 3-10 Redskins have lost 5 straight. St. Louis won yesterday 24-0. The Rams had 7 sacks and held Washington to 206 total yards. This report brought to you by APWU Health Plan, reminding you it's the countdown to better health, and this is your last day to enroll, December 8th. APWU, serving postal and federal employees and their annuitants. Go to apwuhp.com. I'm John Lewis. When you're looking for news from Black America, go to news1.com.
News Talk 1450 WOL AM, where information is power.
Good morning, everyone. This is the Sea Island Morning Show. This is Trendy Lindy in the studio.
It's getting hot. It's getting hot in here.
With Darrell Rowe and Showtime, we have therapist Marissa Nelson on the line. We got a few questions. First of all, Bro, you said something. What did you say? You said something about communication. No, we ain't talking about reaching. Okay, so let's go back to John John's situation. Is the circumstances that he's going through, is that a reason for him to cheat? Because a lot of men not going to take, their woman not fulfilling their sexual needs, and they're going if she doesn't do it, or vice versa, if he doesn't meet her sexual needs, they go out to someone who will. Is that an excuse to cheat? And whose fault is it when he does when he cheat?
Well, I look at it. I mean, it could go both ways. He said she's not interested. She's not. Maybe who knows? I'm not saying. I don't know. Maybe she's going someplace else. Maybe she's not interested in him. Maybe she still is, but he's not fulfilling his job. There's several questions that's out there we don't know. I don't know how long they've been together.
Exactly.
And you got to be creative. You got the spice. You got to keep spices in there.
But one thing I noticed, Showtime, is a lot of times when men and women are in relationships, a lot of times the man get comfortable. And when he get comfortable, he stopped doing those things that it took to get her. He stops the whining and the dying. He said, "This is what goes on. This is what happens." He stopped complimenting her.
Trendy.
Does this happen?
I'm gonna say something. Yeah, fellas, don't be upset, but she's so right on that.
Yeah, it's communication.
We get comfortable.
You get too lax,
and we stop that
and
chase.
You take that woman for granted.
We stop
now you got her. She's like, I'm yours. And then you like, all right, hand me a beer. You forget that,
as long as it's cold, though, Trent.
You forget that she needs to hear those wonderful things come from you, that she's beautiful and you love her and there's nobody else in the world who do it like her, and she wants to hear all of that.
But it also, I
wonder, is John doing those things? I wonder.
Well, maybe she stopped rubbing John's back. Maybe she stopped,
But she wasn't rubbing his back first. He was wooing her first.
We don't know.
See what I'm saying? You just want to point the finger to the man.
What I'm saying is usually the man pursues the woman. Is that correct?
It's a lot of things out there we don't know. It's just we don't know. It was a universal type thing. Some things she was doing, some things that he was doing, way back and forth. We don't know, but I can speak. Majority of us men, once the chase is over, it's like, okay, been there, done that. It's, regular routine. And the woman's the same way. A woman, if she know what's going to happen before it happens, she gets bored.
Okay.
Same old routine, same old moves. Okay, turn around. She know before you even do it. It's boring. You got to spice it up, baby. You got to switch it, change atmospheres. I love that commercial.
Even if you try to spice it up, if you have underlying problems with the foundation of your relationship, you can throw a whip and chain into it. It's not going to mean that it's going to be sexy, exciting, or sustain the relationship. What I think it is that, we can talk about the chase, people losing interest, but at the end of the day, we all have a need to feel valued. We all have a need to be validated. We all have a need to feel visible by our partners. We want to be seen. We want to be loved. We want to be nurtured. Not just women, men too. Not just men, women too. I really do believe that when we don't feel that, we disengage. So, it's really about wanting that connection, and when you don't feel it, we can make our exits. However, whether it's cheating or work or kids or pets or computers and phones, we need sometimes check out when we're not getting what we need. So really, the conversation is about, when did I stop getting what I needed from my partner? What do I need from my partner? And how can I find a way to communicate that so that we can save this relationship?
What I come to find out sometimes, I think one person in the relationship tends to try too hard, and that sometimes throw the other party off. That's what I really think it is.
I think at some point you always got that. If you got a scale, it's always one is, I would say, pulling more than the other, or show more interest than the other. In pretty much most cases. Is that you referring to something like that?
Yeah, one side be trying too hard. Like the woman may be trying too hard, or the man might be trying too hard, when the whole time all we gotta do is go back to the root of where it began. You know what I mean? That's what I think.
Well, I think the doctor, the
therapist
Marissa was talking about some of the basics of just showing the companionship, of showing that, making the man feel wanted. Like she says, it's not always about the chase, what have, it's all about the spices. But a lot of us, and intertwined with that, we gotta learn, like in cases when something go wrong, it's kind of bitter in a relationship, I guess, you gotta not move past a lot of things, but we get a tendency of holding on things if we forget about the small things right in front of us, the movies, just have a good conversation, because we stuck on something that happened last week, or what have you, or what may transpired, opposed to, have in your mind, but not always bringing it out. So, moving forward. And think about all your better times, the great times that you had in times to come.
So, Marissa, how important is it to have a how important is it to have a good foundation? I mean, is how you start, how you end. I mean, if you started off wrong, or if you started off in a way that is unhealthy, does that say that it's a doomed relationship?
Mm-hmm. You know, I'm a firm believer that I think that we attract a similar type of person into our life based on what we've been through, our experiences. If you notice, if you look back at your relationship history, you know, some people are like, oh, you know, there's a specific type of person that kind of triggers you. And so when you're talking about the foundation of a relationship, when you start off a certain way, you know, I wonder, do you feel like you can go to this person is someone that will hold you down, somebody that will support you, somebody that has your back? Is this person, you know, have you experienced trust issues with this person very early on? Because the way that you start is really going to lay the foundation for the rest of the relationship. If we started off and I already got emotionally injured, I'm going to question a lot of the things that happen after that because we're not solid. I don't feel safe with you. I don't feel like I can trust you. I don't feel like I can completely let my guard down. So we can stay together, but my guard is always going to be up. And that's really what happens to a lot of us because we're always trying to protect ourselves from getting hurt.
True. That's true. We're trying to relieve ourselves from any pain that we could possibly go through. But tell us, Marissa, how do you suggest that we communicate our needs? Because a lot of times men, when they're ready, you know, to be intimate, they expect you to just be ready or expect you to know, or sometimes the women expect you just to know that I'm ready. So how do we... And a lot of times we miss the sign language, and we miss it. We miss it.
All kinds of signs out there.
So, and Lonzo said just stay ready, but that's not reality, Lonzo. It's not reality. So for some.
Stay ready.
So Marissa, how do we communicate our needs effectively to where we're both, you know, hearing each other and trying, you know, to fulfill the other person's needs?
I think it starts, you know, when it comes to emotions, when it comes to how I'm feeling, and then that's very different from how we approach people sexually and how we approach our partners sexually. When you're talking about just how can I communicate my needs so that I don't feel threatened and that I can share with you, it really starts by being vulnerable, which is very, very challenging for a lot of us to do, right?
Yes.
A lot of times we talk out of our defenses, oh, well, why don't you want to have sex? Why don't you want to do this? Or we just completely shut down and we're like, you know, I'm not talking about this right now. So there is a constant, you know, reaction, action, reaction. And instead of acting out of our defenses and, you know, with anger, with shutting down, what we really need to do is be like, I want to connect with you. What would that look like? Because really at the root of it, the sex, the emotions, it's really about I want to connect with you and I want to feel like close to you. So how can we do that? What would that look like? What does closeness look like for you? Well, this is what it looks like for me. How can I, you know, what are you willing are open to do? This is what I'm willing and open to do. And and have it become a conversation as, you know, instead of I'm defending my position. I'm standing my ground. I'm defending my position to do this or not do this, which is what a lot of times it turns out to be.
So, Marissa, do you find that a lot of individuals are afraid of that type of conversation?
Yes.
And why are we so afraid? Why?
Because we've all been... If you are listening to this show, if you are human, you have been hurt in some way, shape, or form. And it doesn't just start with your romantic relationship. It goes all the way back to parents. There are times where your parents were there or not there. There are times where your siblings were there or not there. Aunts, uncles, friends, people in your life that have truly let you down. Yes. Where you feel like I have to guard myself because I don't know what to expect. I don't know when I'm going to get love. I don't know love. You know, all of this seems too much. for me. So the way that we react out of that is that we begin to build up our walls. We begin to protect ourselves. So whether you are, as everybody was talking about earlier, the one that overfunctions in a relationship and works so hard because you're like, you know what, this is what I learned that love was to work hard and to prove my worth. Or sometimes you may just sit back or shut down completely, because either way, you don't want to get hurt. And I just want everybody to understand that really, we can talk about semantics, but underneath the surface, it's about hurt and pain and protecting ourselves.
That's the truth. That is so true.
Past experience.
Yeah.
What's your experience?
So what we have to go to commercial break shortly, but when we come back, we're going to go into the conversation, and we're going to talk a few moments. We only have a few moments left before our show is over today. It's been so exciting, but we want to talk a few minutes when we come back about cuffing. Have you heard about cuffing? I know when I heard it, I was like, oh my gosh, is this something that's real? Well, anyway, Marissa is going to share some light on what cuffing is and the dangers of it when we come back after these messages.
Cuff 1450 WOL.
Good morning, it's WOL Traffic and Weather Report brought to you by the Foundation for a Better Life. It was construction in Bladensburg on westbound Route 450 at Kenilworth Avenue. The right lane is closed. They're also working in Cheverly westbound on 202 between the BW Parkway and Route 450, and that has the right lane closed. Silver Spring, southbound Georgia Avenue, right before the Beltway. It's two right lanes closed with a delay that begins at Pliers Mill Road heading down into the work zone, southbound Colesville Road. Before Dale Drive, it's the right lane blocked for road work. Winston Churchill's words stirred his country in the face of defeat. Today they inspire us to reach for our own victories. Commitment, pass it on from the Foundation for a Better Life at values.com. Now your WOL weather forecast for today, remaining mostly cloudy with highs in the upper 30s. For tonight, cloudy with periods of rain down to 35. Early rain tomorrow, and then cloudy with showers in the afternoon, high near 43. Steve Hirschhorn for News Talk 1450 WOL, where information is power.
Good morning, everyone. This is the Sea Island Morning Show, and this is Trendy Lindy in the studio with Mr. Rowe, and Showtime. And we've been talking to therapist Marissa Nelson, and she has been giving us some good tips about relationships, intimacy, and all of those type things. Before we get back into our relationships and talking about what cuffing is, we want to talk about that Obama package.
Don't forget that Obama package.
That's right. The
first five callers.
First five callers. The first five callers will call the Signature Sea Island Salon, will get a haircut, shampoo, and a facial.
Okay.
For a low whopping price of $25.
The first five.
And the number that you call is 202-526-1400, extension 19.
And that's actually Sea Island's number.
Sea Island's number,
if
direct
you want to call.
number.
And if you don't get him, just leave a message. He's going to take the first five callers. He will give you a call back, or he'll have one of us to call you back to let you know that you were one of the first
Real
five.
quick, I want to go out to give out to condolences to Mr. Cherry.
Okay.
His mom's passed this morning.
Yeah, we did that when you ran to the restroom. But it's okay to say it again.
Okay, the condolences, and he's in our prayers.
Yes, he's in our prayers.
Just the restroom, a cup of coffee.
Okay, that's all right. Okay, so back to Marissa. Marissa, we're definitely going to have you in the studio next time, because this is too good. I mean, we ain't even scratched the surface. But
not even.
Yeah, so let's talk a little bit. What is cuffing, Marissa? What is that?
It's funny. Cuffing, I think cuffing has been around for quite some time. I remember being in college, and we talked about, my friends would be like, get your cuffing season roster ready, and it was like, look for their cuffing season partners. So, I know that it's been around for quite some time, but really what it is, in the winter months when it's cold outside, really if you're single, trying to find someone to be handcuffed to, essentially, for the winter months, to kind of, weather the winter with. Somebody that you can snuggle with, watch Netflix with, somebody that is really a companion for the colder months.
Wow. What's so dangerous about entering into temporary relationships like that?
With cuffing season, I mean, it's the winter to the summer fling. There's always, risks involved with it. A lot of times, when we first meet someone, we are getting a complete chemical wash of just hormones that are going to boost our libido, hormones that are going to make us want this person and want to spend more time with this person. And we're almost like in a fog, essentially. We're really excited to talk to them, really excited to be close to them. And so we can choose someone because they're around and because they're available, and not because they're a good match for us, not because they're somebody that we can really see ourselves with, because a lot of times we think that sexual chemistry equals relationship potential, and that's just not the case. Wow. So I think a lot of times we can get caught up, if you don't watch out, you can get caught up in thinking that what could be a sexual, companionship connection you might think it might be more than that. And when the season is over, you might look over at this person and be like, get out of my bed. Time for you to go home, So I think that's something that you can run into.
So are we actually using the other person when we enter into this type of relationship?
I don't think that we're necessarily using the other person, because I think we're just creatures that require companionship.
Okay.
I think that we all want to be close to someone. We all want to have a companion. So it's not necessarily using the person, but it really is just having an awareness of, are we on the same page with this? If one person's looking for a long-term relationship and the other person isn't, well, both of you need to talk about that beforehand. If you're going to be spending lots of your time together, you need to be talking to that person about, listen, not necessarily where is this going, but just where's your head at? What's going on with you right now? Did you just get out of a serious relationship? Are you going through a life transition? Is this just fun for you? Cool. That other person's allowed to be where they're at, and that has nothing to do with you. But you need to know what you want, and if that is not congruent with the other person, then cut your losses.
Right.
So what about when you believe that you're in this relationship, that you really want this person, but the person really just see you for the winter fling, the cuffing.
Hey.
Mm-hmm. And you're unaware of that. How do you deal with that? How do you deal with just being a winter fling?
What do you all think about it?
Well, I'm gonna tell you what that time of the year, Melissa, what you mentioned is crucial. I think more so for women. It's a time to want to be a part of something. One to say, okay, I have somebody in my life. You got a lot of things going on in the particular months that you name. You got Thanksgiving, you have Christmas, Valentine. You got New Year's, you got Valentine, and the women are like, wow, who am I with? Who am I gonna bring to dinner? Who am I gonna bring to this? What have you? And it's kind of sort of like. Those are the times you can say, well, this is my man, this is my other half, or this is my companion that I'm with. And to me, it's more so not just cuffing season, pretty much. It's more so like it's a statement season to say, hey, this is who I'm with. This is who I'm sharing my seasonal time with, my Christmas, my Thanksgiving. And, the Valentine's, all these times are coming up. They're very important to a lot of people, especially a lot of women. And it kind of say, well, if a girl, because during the summertime, hey, y'all are out, bikini, two-piece time, scan out, y'all having a great time. We on vacations. We go on vacations. By that time, I might have my six-pack back. Okay. Well, we having a good time. But now that seasonal time coming, the cuffing season. Okay, now you say, hey, you have friends, you dated this guy, this guy's a friend. Now, who are you going to bring to Thanksgiving? Who are you going to spend your Christmas with? Who are you going to get a gift from? Who are you going to bring your New Year's in with? Now the thing's got to be narrowed down to say which one is really my friend. Who am I part of? And I think, so it kind of with women it's more so like, wow. Even with guys, I can say to a certain degree, who am I serious with? What woman is my woman? Who am I spend Thanksgiving with? at this guy that they've been hearing about all during the summertime. Now this year's coming about. Hey, are you gonna bring so and so to dinner, or so and so coming to Christmas? Bring them by. We having a dinner. Who is this person gonna be? So, in the midst, I think when Marissa was talking about you can be swayed to say, wow. Now, the next question is, where's this relationship going at? Who am I really to you? Who are you really to me? We've been physical, we've been doing this. We need to make a stand and say, where's this relationship going at?
So we need to talk more. We need to ask the questions.
Well, my thing is, I say experience. The more you experience with a person, a lot of things that you go through, it kind of bonds you together a little bit more closer. And I always just stick to the basics. You really don't know what you have until you come to some type of obstacle. If you got a good relationship, it's fine, nothing wrong with it. To me, that's kind of shaky grounds, because you don't really know what you have that you're standing on. But if you have a young lady, if you have a guy in your life that y'all been through some things, and he has supported you, and you feel like Marissa was saying earlier, if you don't feel safe with your man, if you don't feel you can depend on him, you don't have anyone. You're alone. And that's a scary feeling, But if you feel safe with your other half, you feel safe with your man, that woman will shine. She'll do things. She get to rub your feet, the loving even more better.
He backing that thing up, and he's doing a little bit of everything in the studio. Lord have mercy.
And vice versa. Because you feel safe. You feel safe with that person.
She'll do all that.
She rub your feet. She rub your feet. And we all know in the beauty industry, the feet and the head is two things that always be ignored.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but other questions arouse up. So. But now, cuffing season, because those are very important seasonal times, your Christmas, your New Year's, your Valentine's, and who's my half? Who's in my life? Who
do I belong to?
Who do I belong to? Right,
belongs to me. Yeah.
Right. Correct. And those are things that comes up, because at a certain point, as summertime comes up, you may be looking for vacations to take together, opposed to you by yourself. It's fun because so many events going on in the summertime. You may hear about, I'm dating this guy. You may see you from time to time with a certain guy. But when that cuffing season comes, that November through, April, all the way, who is your man? Who am I really with?
It also thinks about what happens if you don't have a person and you're going to the company holiday parties, you're going to Christmas, Valentine's Day. What does that mean for you? Because a lot of times people feel either I'm not valuable or I'm not, something might be wrong with me. I'm here and I'm here by myself. But my sister got engaged, or my best friend, I just went to their wedding, and so you're surrounded by connection. Yeah. And when you don't feel that, it makes you feel like there's something missing in my life.
Exactly.
And real quick, Marissa, do you think that could be kind of dangerous? That kind of has you jump into a relationship that you're really not really wanting, but you're doing it.
Settle.
Yeah, that makes you settle. Say, okay, well, I had something in my life too, but it's not something that you really wanted.
Of course. I think that's the issue about us learning how to attract the right love, not just anybody, but really just attracting the person that's going to best complement me, the person that's going to best be there and meet my needs. Because a lot of times people are in relationships because we're afraid to be alone.
Exactly.
We're uncomfortable being by ourselves. So you're like, you know what? This may not work, but you're the evil that I know, and I know that I can come home to someone. I mean, that's really what it is sometimes.
Marissa, unfortunately, we can go on and on. We should have started with this, but Marissa, we're going to have you back in January. Can you give us your contact information real quick? Your contact information?
Sure, Marissa Nelson at XOXO Therapy. You can find me online, www.xoxotherapy.com, or you can email me at Marissa, Marissa, at xoxotherapy.com.
Thank you so much, Marissa. We'll be talking to you soon. Thank you, radio audience. This was a wonderful show, and we need you to remember to pamper yourself. Why? Because it's
your duty.
And because of what else? Because you're worth it. Okay, we'll see y'all next week. We caught up now. All right.
WOL.
You don't usually get